Hi everyone and welcome. I'm doing a review today of this new deck, which is the Fairytale Oracle by Kate Forsyth, and it's illustrated by Merle Hunt. This deck is produced by Rockpool Publishing, who kindly sent me this deck to review. If you're interested in purchasing this deck yourself, I'll put a link below to Rockpool's website where you can buy the deck, and it will be released in May 2025. So it's got this lovely red border, as you can see, around the box, and obviously a little Red Riding Hood on the front, which is really eye-catching. And there's like the gold lettering there that stands out as well, really like that. It's a 44 card deck and guidebook, and it says here, find your way through the dark forest of life. In this beautiful oracle, best-selling novelist and fairy tale expert Kate Forsyth explores 11 of the world's most powerful fairy tales. These ancient narratives of good and evil, joy and sorrow, and struggle and triumph are like a trail of white stones through the dark, thorny forest of life, showing the way forward and giving hope. Okay, so it's quite interesting using fairy tales throughout. I also really like the design of the box, like a book. Really links, doesn't it, to fairy tales? And it says in here, fairy tales are stories in which the suffering at last comes to an end. Indeed. Really nice touch, obviously here with the red ribbon as well in terms of the design. And it's a nice way to separate your book from the cards as well. So we'll leave the box over there. So I've just zoomed in a little bit, as you can see, so that we can look in more detail at the guidebook first of all. So it's really lovely design with the red on the back, the white and gold. Now you'll see the illustrations when we look at the cards, they are really wonderful, but they feature throughout the book colour, as you can see. So here we have the contents. So there's an introduction, how to use the cards, the Fairytale Oracle cards, and then each fairy tale has a page where there's a description of the fairy tale. So we've got the story of Rapunzel, first of all, and then 4 cards. The story of Sleeping Beauty, 4 cards. The story of Cinderella, and again, cards. Beauty and the Beast, the story of the Little Mermaid, Bluebeard, Hansel and Gretel, Little Red Riding Hood, Wild Swans, Rumpelstiltskin, Snow White, and then there's about the author and the illustrator. As you can see there, wonderful images, very striking. That's what I noticed when I looked through. Then there's an introduction by the author, how to use the cards. The Fairytale Oracle cards are designed to be used both as regular mindful rituals to bring you strength and purpose, and also as a source of solace and healing in times of trouble. Each fairy tale is illuminated by a brief retelling of the tale, its history and variations, then a deeper examination of 4 of its key motifs. You can shuffle the cards and draw at random, or you can choose to study the history and meaning of each individual fairy tale as a way of better understanding why the tale seems to be speaking to you personally at this time. So I must say it is quite interesting. I had a quick look through to see, the fairy tale. Then there are some card pulls. So there's daily mindfulness practice. 3 card draw in times of trouble. Then there's 4 card spread for new direction, and that's over here. 7 card deep delve. So different ways you could use the cards if you wanted to do like a daily card pull or something. And then we move on to the cards. As you can see, this beautiful vivid illustration here really catches your eye. So as I said, there's a page with the story. So we've got the story of Rapunzel and then the history of the tale. What we'll do at the end is we'll pull 1 card and look in more detail. That just gives you an idea. And then, as I said, each one has 4 cards. So it's Rapunzel, number 1, stolen herb, for example, and the colour illustration, which is really nice. And so on. 2, tower. 3, ladder of hair. 4, healing tears. And then on to the next fairy tale. So Sleeping Beauty. And then it's the same thing for each one. At the back we've got about the author. So Dr Kate Forsyth is an award-winning author, storyteller and fairy tales scholar whose books include The Wild Girl, The Story of the Forbidden Romance, Behind the Grimm Brothers Fairy Tales, and Bitter Greens, a retelling of Rapunzel. Okay, interesting. And then the illustrator Merle Hunt is an illustrator specialising in traditional illustrations that reflect the natural world and the universality of stories. Sorry everyone, I couldn't quite say that word. I found this quite interesting. merlemadetales.com. It's her website. Maybe she likes mermaids. So that's quite an in-detail book, I would say, first of all. Now to the cards. So as you can see, they've got the lovely, stunning gold gilded edges which link to the design, and the white background with this beautiful old style, looks gold as well, design, like a motif, isn't it? The cardstock as well is really nice, thick. It's linen in feel, pretty thick, but I think that works because the illustrations are so beautiful. So hopefully the cards will last with that being the case. So as you can see, I've just zoomed in a bit more, so hopefully you can see the cards in detail as we look through them. I won't speak too much, I'll let you take it in yourself, but I'll just highlight that at the top they've got the fairy tale, Rapunzel, then the number 1, stolen herb, and then a keyword, desire. I appreciate that it's quite small, actually, those two, so it may not show up very well on camera. I have tried to sort of dim the light a bit, but that's sort of how they look. So the second one is tower. Ladder of hair, obviously Rapunzel again. That's stunning. I think the colour of her hair really pops in these ones. I love it. Healing tears. So then number 5 is Sleeping Beauty, Spinning Wheel, Deep Sleep, Hedge of Thorns, The Kiss, that's beautiful. Now it's Cinderella, Rags and Ashes, Fairy Godmother, Midnight Clock, Glass Slipper. I love this one with the dragonfly there, sign of transformation. Now Beauty and the Beast, I mean, I think this is one of my favourite tales actually, and I must say the illustrations for this one are beautiful, as you'll see with the roses. So there we've got Beast, beautiful. I love this one with the flowers. Magic Ring. And Consent. Yeah, I love the colours, purple and pink. They're some of my favourite colours. Then we've got the Little Mermaid. So different colours there, aren't they? More blue and yellow. Dagger. Then the next one's Bluebeard. It's a fairy tale I wasn't as familiar with myself, but the colours really pop again, I feel, on these ones. Rescue with the owl, it's beautiful. Now we're on to Hansel and Gretel, Dark Forest, Gingerbread House. Oh yes, I remember this one now. That's beautiful, isn't it? Dove. Love that one. So here's the front cover, obviously, Little Red Riding Hood. Crossroads. The grandmother with the owl. And Wolf. Yeah, I love those ones actually. The red really stands out. Then we've got Wild Swans. So Swan, Nettle, Silence, Flame, Rumpelstiltskin, Spinning Straw, Imp, Riddle, there's a lovely cat there, looks like a magpie. I think this is the only one I think is a bit dark, possibly there. I think you can see it, but maybe it's meant to be to depict a mystery, I guess, with Riddle. And True Name. And then we've got Snow White, White as Snow. Magic Mirror. Apple. And Glass Coffin. So that's it. I think they really stand out, all of them. You can sort of tell which fairy tale it is in a way because of the colour schemes. What do you all think? Let me know in the comments. Which is your favourite fairy tale, if you have one? Are you drawn to a particular card at all? So I'm going to shuffle the cards, just see how they shuffle. Yeah, and they always shuffle really well. They do their gilded edges really well because they don't stick together at all. Some decks do, but this one didn't. So I like that. Let's see if we get a card come out that we can look at. We'll take that one. It's kind of falling off. So we got the Little Mermaid. And it's number 20, Dagger. It says, seize the sword. So let's have a look in the guidebook. Quite easy to find them because you've got the number at the top. So you don't even need to look at the page number. I do like books when they're like that. It's just easier. Okay, so it's interesting. It says dark face. Sorry everyone, I'll just put it, try and get it in shot. Dark face, all change comes at a cost. Bright face, you can empower yourself to change your life. So that's like the little message with the card. And then it says, the dagger is one of the most powerful motifs in The Little Mermaid. The heroine sacrifices her tongue so she can be transformed into a human, and her sisters sacrifice their beautiful hair for her, bringing her a dagger that will transform her back into a mermaid if she uses it to kill the prince. She hurls the dagger into the sea and saves the life of the man she loves at the cost of her own. The dagger, sorry everyone, I can't read today. The dagger thus represents loss and love and sacrifice and salvation. So that could be like a clue, a key for some of you. Then you've got the meaning here. So drawing dagger indicates it is time for you to seize the sword. It is time to risk change, to separate yourself from ties that bind you and protect yourself from negative energies. The cutting of any cord is painful, but that is the price you must pay to be transformed. Yeah, I often feel that with a dagger or sword. Sometimes I get them in my charms. It's about cutting things out of your life, people, connections, whatever it might be. Okay, so that could have been a sign for some of you as well with that card. There you go. What do you think of this deck? The Fairytale Oracle. It's quite an interesting one, I think, using the fairy tales and the symbols throughout each one to then produce an oracle deck. There's even a dolphin, so obviously you could use your intuition in terms of other things you see. The moon for intuition, psychic hits. You know, dolphin for playfulness, collaboration. For example, there's water there for emotions, clouds, confusion. So if you're intuitive, you know, which a lot of you are, then that's how you could use a card to interpret your own things from it as well, your own messages, that is. Really interesting one, I think, everyone. Lovely to look through this with you all. Hope you've enjoyed it. Are any of you interested in getting the deck yourselves, do you think? I'm looking forward to using it at some point on the channel, so keep your eyes peeled. Thank you so much for being here with me for this review and walkthrough. Hope you enjoyed it. Sending peace, love and light to you all.